March 1970. Los Angeles. A Tuesday afternoon in Chinatown, inside a second-floor dojo on Broadway Street. Bruce Lee is teaching 50 students the finer points of trapping, how to control an opponent's arms while striking through the gap. The room smells like old wood and sweat. Students are focused, absorbing every detail. It's routine, normal, until the front door opens hard. A man fills the doorframe. 6'5", maybe 210, wearing a pristine white karate gi, with a black belt. 11 seconds later, that man is on his back, gasping for air, tapping the mat in surrender. But let's rewind. The man walks in, like he owns the place. Blonde hair, square jaw, shoulders built in a weight room. Every eye turns toward him. Bruce stops mid-sentence. The room goes silent. He speaks loud enough for everyone to hear. I'm Michael Carson, California State Karate Champion, 43 wins, 2 losses. I've heard about your Kung Fu, Bruce. About Jeet Kune Do. He pauses, making sure everyone is watching. I think Kung Fu is just dancing. Looks pretty on film, but it wouldn't work in a real fight. Prove me wrong. It's not a question. It's a challenge. Public, calculated, designed to corner Bruce into responding. In his own school. In front of his students. Michael knows exactly what he's doing. What nobody in that dojo knows is that Michael Carson is terrified, not of Bruce, of time, of irrelevance. He's 32. His tournament career is ending. Younger competitors are faster, hungrier. He built his entire identity on being the champion, the tough guy. Trophies and titles became his shield. When people started talking about Bruce Lee's movie Kung Fu being effective in real situations, it felt like a threat, like his world was being invalidated. He needed to prove them wrong, needed to prove to himself that everything he'd built his life on still mattered. Bruce looks at him. No anger, just calm observation, reading the man's stance, the tension in his shoulders, the fear beneath the bravado. You want to fight me? Bruce asks quietly. Want you to prove Kung Fu works. Real contact. No choreography. No movie tricks. Bruce considers for 3 seconds. Okay, but understand this isn't a tournament. No rules. No points. No referees. Real combat. It ends when one of us taps or goes unconscious. You're choosing this. Michael's confident smile flickers. Bruce continues. In your tournaments, you fight for points with boundaries protecting you. This won't be that. You're asking for real. I'm giving you real. Students move quickly, clearing the center. Some excited, they'll finally see Bruce's teaching demonstrated. Others nervous. Their teacher facing someone 7 inches taller and 70 pounds heavier. Michael removes his ghetto top, revealing muscular frame. He does his pre-fight routine, shoulder rolls, leg swings. The warm-up from 15 years of competition. Bruce doesn't warm up, just stands there, hands relaxed, breathing calm. Michael asks about basic rules. No throat, no groin shots. Bruce says, you came to challenge what I teach. What I teach is how to survive situations where nobody's protecting you. If that's not what you want, we can stop right now. Michael swallows. His pride won't let him back down. No rules. Let's go. They face each other, 10 feet apart. Michael drops into classical karate stance. Deep, solid, stable. Perfect Shotokan form. Bruce stands natural. Feet shoulder width, hands loose. No classical stance. Just ready. Michael moves first. Front, kick testing distance. Bruce shifts slightly. Kick misses by an inch. Michael resets. Tries roundhouse. Fast. Technical. Powerful. Bruce steps inside the arc, where it has no power. Now 3 feet away. Too close for Michael's game. Bruce controls the distance. What happens next happens so fast that students will spend hours trying to piece together the sequence. Seconds 1 through 3. Bruce's hands explode. Left traps Michael's lead hand. Right shoots toward face. Michael blocks high. Bruce's right drops instantly. Drives into solar plexus. Michael's breath huffs out. Left hand strikes ribs. Right returns to face. Feint. Michael's hands rise. Left strikes solar plexus again. 4 strikes in 3 seconds. Continuous pressure. Seconds 4 through 6. Michael pushes back, needs distance. Bruce follows, maintains gap. Michael throws straight punch. Bruce redirects with small circle, guides it past. Michael off balance for a fraction. Bruce drives palm into sternum. Precise, center line. Michael stumbles backward. Seconds, 7 through 9. Michael attempts spinning back kick. High-scoring tournament move. Bruce reads it, sees shoulder drop. As Michael spins, Bruce advances, meets him mid-rotation. Kick never completes. Bruce controls near arm, pulls him off balance. Kick hits air. Bruce sweeps plant leg. Simple, direct. Michael's base vanishes. He's falling. Bruce controls descent. Seconds 10 through 11. Michael hits floor. Bruce's knee pins chest. Hand controls wrist. Other hand hovers near throat. Not touching. Just positioned. Do you tap? Michael gasping. Eyes wide. Just got dismantled by someone half his size. Tries to speak. Can't get air. Nods frantically. Taps mat 3 times. Bruce releases immediately. Stands. Offers hand. Pulls him up. Silence. 50 students just watch systematic control dismantle size and strength in 11 seconds. Bruce hands Michael towel. Water. They stand there tall champion, catching breath. Compact teacher calm. Michael's face flushed with embarrassment. And something rower came to expose Bruce as fraud. Got exposed instead. Bruce speaks first. You're a good fighter. Great technique. You train hard. But you train for tournaments. That's different. Michael asks. How? Bruce explains tournaments have boundaries, weight classes, referees stopping things, before real damage. Real fighting has none of that. When someone's actually trying to hurt you, the rules that protected you in competition disappear. Your training optimizes you for one game. This is a different game. Michael wipes his face. So my training is worthless? His voice cracks. Bruce shakes his head firmly. No, it gave you discipline. Fitness, reflexes, fighting spirit. All valuable. But understand what you're prepared for. Tournament success isn't combat effectiveness. Different skills for different contexts. One student asks about size. Bruce turns to teach. Size matters when skill is equal. When it's not. Technique wins. I controlled distance. He never used reach. I controlled timing. He never got set. I controlled centerline. I made him fight my fight. Michael listening now. Really listening. Challenge gone. Could you teach me that? Bruce says, you can train here, but you'll unlearn tournament habits first. Your body knows how to fight for points. Needs to learn to fight for control. Different goals. Different philosophy. Michael asks, what philosophy? Bruce says, absorb what is useful. Reject what is useless. Add what is specifically your own, not a style, a way of thinking. You don't abandon karate. You evolve it. Take what works. Add boxing's hands. Wrestling's clinch. Wing Chun's trapping. Fencing's distance work. Become formless. Like water. Water doesn't fight the container. It becomes the container. Months pass. Michael becomes regular student. 3 times weekly. Learning to fight without rules. To move without thinking about point values. It's harder than expected. 15 years of muscle memory doesn't disappear overnight. He catches himself pulling strikes. Stepping back when he should press forward. Gets frustrated. Bruce watches patiently. You're not learning slowly. You're unlearning quickly. Unlearning is always harder than learning new. Be patient. 6 months later, Bruce watches him spar. Michael moving differently now. Closing distance immediately. Maintaining pressure. Controlling centerline. Not thinking anymore. Body understanding what mind learned in 11 seconds. Bruce says simply, you're forgetting the bad habits. Still thinking too much, but the body is learning. Give it another year. You'll be dangerous. Michael laughs. I've trained martial arts for 15 years. Bruce nods. You trained 15 years one way. Learning a different way takes time. This is learning a new language. Be patient with yourself. Years later, after Bruce's 1973 death, Michael opens his own school in Orange County. Sign reads, Carson Martial Arts. Traditional karate with Jeet Kune Do principles. On the wall hangs a photo in black frame. Michael and Bruce, Months after their first meeting, both smiling, teacher and student. Respect. Michael tells students the story regularly, usually when someone new walks in with too much ego. I met Bruce Lee once. He beat me in 11 seconds. Not because he was stronger or faster, because he understood something I didn't. I had won 43 tournament matches. Lost 2. I thought I was a real fighter. Then I met Bruce Lee and realized I didn't know what real fighting actually was. Everything I'd won was in a game with rules. He showed me what happens when rules disappear. Students ask what it was like. Michael always says, like trying to fight water. Can't grab it, can't punch it, can't predict it. It flows around everything. I threw my best techniques that won championships. Techniques I drilled 10,000 times. Hit nothing. He was already somewhere else. And he wasn't trying to hurt me. He was controlling me, keeping me from hurting him, while keeping me from getting seriously hurt. He could have broken my arm, could have choked me unconscious. He didn't. That level of control under pressure. That's mastery. Not the trophies. Not the wins. The control. The restraint. The choice. One time after class, a student finds Michael staring at the photo. "You okay, sensei?" Michael nods slowly. That day when Bruce beat me, I went home and sat in my car for an hour before I could drive. My hands were shaking. Not from exhaustion. From realizing everything I'd built my identity on was incomplete. I was the champion. The tough guy. In 11 seconds, a man smaller than me made me feel completely helpless. It shattered something fundamental. But that was the greatest gift anyone ever gave me. He destroyed my illusion so I could see reality. That's what real teachers do. They don't just give you skills. They give you truth, even when it hurts. Decades pass. Michael is 70 now, still teaching, still keeping that photograph. Modern mixed martial arts has exploded. UFC fighters combine boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. No single style dominates. The adaptable ones succeed. Michael watches and sees Bruce's philosophy realized. Be water. Formless, adaptive, effective. Dan Inosanto, one of Bruce's closest students and training partners, once said Bruce wasn't just teaching us techniques. He was teaching us to think, to adapt, to become water. That philosophy, once dismissed by traditionalists as disrespectful, is now the foundation of every successful fighter's approach. Students sometimes ask if he's bitter. Like go. Laughs. Bitter. I'm grateful. I learned more in those 11 seconds than in 15 years of competition. Bruce didn't just beat me. He revealed what I couldn't see. He showed me the game I'd been training for wasn't the game I thought it was. He gave me a wake-up call, then gave me the tools to actually wake up. The story has become legend in martial arts circles. One of Bruce's students who was there that day recalls. "We thought we'd watch a war. Instead, we watched a lesson in control and humility." Bruce could have humiliated him. Could have really hurt him. Instead, he taught him. That was more devastating and more generous than any beating. The 11 seconds in that Los Angeles dojo didn't just end a challenge. They demonstrated something that echoes across decades. When someone has truly mastered their craft, size and strength becomes secondary to understanding. Style matters less than adaptability. Rules create safety, but they also create limitations that don't exist in reality. Michael's transformation from arrogant champion to humble student to respected teacher represents the moment we all eventually face. When reality crashes through our carefully constructed illusions. When we discover the game we've been winning isn't the game we thought it was. When everything we built our identity on turns out to be incomplete. Bruce Lee's philosophy wasn't just about martial arts. It was about life. About not getting trapped in rigid forms or outdated strategies. About being water, formless, flowing, adapting to whatever container you're in. The modern world has validated this in ways Bruce never lived to see. Mixed martial arts prove no single style dominates. Successful businesses survive by adapting. Effective people thrive by unlearning and relearning. So here's the question. Have you had your own 11-second lesson? A moment when reality showed you that the game you'd been training for wasn't the game you were actually playing. When your assumptions got shattered and you had to rebuild from the ground up? Those moments are devastating. They're humiliating, but they're also opportunities. Michael walked into that dojo as a champion and walked out as a beginner. His ego was shattered, his assumptions destroyed, but that beginner's mind, that openness to learning, that humility before reality, opened him to wisdom. His championship mind had completely closed off. If this story made you think about your own path, about what you're optimizing for, about whether you're training for the right game, hit that like button, subscribe for more. True legends that reveal deeper truths about mastery, humility, and growth. And share your story in the comments below. Tell us about your 11-second wake-up call, the moment that shattered your illusions and forced you to grow. Because those moments, as painful as they are in the moment, are often the most valuable gifts we ever receive.